Hi, I'm Doc Harmony, and I am with the Queen Circle and my favorite queen of all. And just a preview, Queen Circle becoming Queen's Garden. And
Oh,
here's my favorite queen who's been hanging out with me in the garden, growing and nurturing. And I would not be who I am today without my favorite friend, Mai. Mai, we're here today.
oh,
She's going to come on today, and we're going to. She has a surprise topic for me, so I'm going to let her have the mic in a second. But I know, Mai, that you're going to Vipassana in a couple days, right? And so I am just wondering why you're doing this retreat, and is there any particular reasons, physical, mental, spiritual, or what is the impetus for you to go and on this adventure? So anyone who doesn't know Vipassana, it's fantastic from everything that I hear. 10 days of silence. Woo! 10 days, no social media, no phones, no book. God, I'll be praying for you, sister. Praying. Send us some
no
blessings.
man, no son, nothing.
No man, no children. That might be a blessing. She has four daughters. Wonderful. But there's still four daughters. So anyways, so Mai, tell me, what is up with this Vipassana? You're just such a great person to me. You're amazing. You've done so much transformation in the realm of landmark and Sterling and next level. So what is it? Tell us.
And half of it is credit to you for sure, because you led me to a possibility that queens can exist in any realm, and especially any like for us to have gone from where we're at to who we are now,
Amen.
and have our men completely adore us. Oh my gosh, that's like a miracle in itself. So all credit to you. Um, yes, as I am, I'll do my confession that I am a transformational junkie. And why I keep doing it, because it works. It makes my life work with people around me, and it just brings so much growth and contribution for one another. So um, on that path, I've done so much work over 10 years. And the one thing that still I haven't tapped into, I completed my mom's relationship, my dad, that was a huge one, my husband. However, I'm kind of run masculine, and having four daughters, I just have not tapped into that nurturing side. And so when one of my friends said that he could count how many times he can cry in his lifetime, but after Vipassana, he was crying like a bucket of tears, rain, whatever. It was like, that's possible? Okay. And basically it's getting you connected to compassion. And I don't know if I do or don't have it, but I certainly not crying on the dot. And so I thought I really needed that for this coming month or so, because my oldest daughter, 17, about to go to college, and this is my last try because we've actually been bickering for quite some time. You know how teenagers are. She's basically the mini me, so I'm really challenged by being with myself through her. Okay, that's really the nutshell. And so I thought maybe this might be the path that really gets me to really get her and understand her. And we've been decent, I've kind of like give her space a little bit more, being that she's now 17 and have a boyfriend and all that. But that lovely daughter mother connection is not there. That's just what it is, and I'm good with it. But I'm gonna keep persevering, because that is the one good thing I am about, relentless to get whatever I want. Does that
So let
answer
me
it?
ask you a question. So, it sounds like there's a prayer out there. And I'm sure this is going to become obvious. Mai and I are on very different tracks in some areas, and other areas we're perfectly aligned, and that's what makes us such best friends. And so it kind of sounds like this situation with your daughter it comes from the prayer, God show me me. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere you prayed that. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is got to be challenging, right? And so
Yeah.
I really admire. The other thing is that one of the greatest lessons I've ever learned from Mai is just complete total self-acceptance. Even though she absolutely accepts where she's at with her daughter and her daughters and herself, That doesn't mean she's stagnant, people. That doesn't mean that she's not like looking at other possibilities and things to create. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a skill. This is a big gift. And so I just really want you to know how much I admire that, because so many people, we could just look around and, you know, they're just like, oh, well, that's just how it is. Oh, no. You know, and I would also say that Mai's not doing it from a place of fix it or in order to. It's more like being Sherlock Holmes. Let's see what we can discover. Let's see what we can create. Let's see what we can unearth today. So I hear that out of Vipassana, you would like to get more connected to your compassion. Is that what the end goal, or the
be compassionate, period?
Okay, just be okay. Yeah. Well, I find you to be very compassionate. So but as you always say, what do you always say to me? You go, I'm not everybody's flavor, or something like that. What do you say?
Well, I say, live with me and you'll change your story for sure. And that's how it goes. You know, people who live with you know the real you, and which is fine. Maybe it's the continuous resentment that we carry for so long with one another, subconscious and consciously, that sometimes it's you don't even know where it's coming from, but you definitely expectations for sure. All hands down, it's high expectation drill sergeant mom.
Well, and I'm not sure that there's anything wrong with that. So, but I do have another question about Vipassana. Are you going to follow all the rules? No reading, no cheating, no phones, no social media.
My husband said, you are so brave to go in this without ever meditating. And I'm like, well, I know. So pray, cross some fingers, whatever, that I get out and make it out in 10 days. Because one of my girlfriend who's like in it, who's like big meditator, and she's all about peace, such a sweet person. And one of her texts says she almost quit. And I'm like, what? Like her quitting? That I'm gonna, like, I don't know where I'm gonna. I'm gonna be pulling hair. You might not see hair from me. Like, I might not have hair. But yeah. Hopefully
it is brave, especially when you haven't meditated and sat still, and it takes a lot. So I really admire you, your courageousness, your willingness, and so I can't wait. So everybody, I just want you to know, this is the before of Vipassana Mai. And so then we're going to interview her after. When did we schedule that? So you go to Vipassana. Tell us the dates. You go to Vipassana.
Yep.
The 30th, right?
April 29th to go in, and then the 30th is when it starts till all the way till May 10th in the morning, and then like cleanup time for a little bit. Yeah. And this has been around for 3,000 years worth of passing down this somewhat tradition to like really go introspectively. And so we're going to interview Mai on the 10th in the afternoon. We're going to get her all like, let's see what happened.
And the other thing, though, isn't that great about Vipassana? It is non-denominational, correct, and is led by monks, correct? If I'm wrong, let me know. But the other thing that I think that is really a testament to how amazing this could be for people is that the students that go through it pay after the fact. Is that not correct? You don't pay going in. Everything is continued onward based on donations from people that go, yes, I got my money's worth, or it was worth it.
Yeah.
And isn't that amazing?
It's almost like pay it forward.
Yeah. So that is really, really cool. So here's the before Vipassana Mai. Now we're getting ready to go see that after Vipassana Mai. So, all right. Well, I'm done chit-chatting about Vipassana. I know Mai is done. I can tell that she has a surprise topic for me. So if I look surprised, it's because I'm surprised. Go ahead. Oh no, you froze a little bit. She'll be back.
Well, it's all tied in, and
hold on.
Am I frozen?
A little bit.
Hello?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay. And okay. No?
Yes.
Nice.
There you are. Perfect.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. My daughter's in volleyball practice, so I'm trying to.
Right. Bubbles in technology. We're all used to it. And you're back.
Yes. So the topic I thought would be so appropriate, and it's been something I've been sitting with a lot all my life and didn't realize what it means. And with all this transformation, I just keep digging deeper into that thought and what that means, as a whole in my life and, and others. And that word is dun, 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 lie.
Ooh, L-I-E.
Yes, L-I-E. And
right.
I'll just give out the definition right now from Google. A false statement made intentionally to deceive or mislead someone. It is a deliberate untruth rather than a mere mistake. And so they give lots of examples of, what it means. He told a lie about his past. Do not lie to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similes are falsehood, untruth, fabrication, prevarication, right? And so I guess we all know what that lie is in our world, right?
Yes.
And what you have the meaning of what lies are. Everybody has different definitions of every single relationship with anything, right? With flowers, with the word, with whatever there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's be helpful to unpack what did I make lie mean growing up, or what did people tell me about lie, what happened when I received lies, right? Mm-hmm. So I think for the most part, I grew up trying to be honest and tell the truth because that's the right thing to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember, when I was in college and my mom, wanted me to come home, and I just told her, like, no, I don't care to go back to New Jersey. I'll stay here. While my brother, on the other hand, said, oh, I've got so much, schoolwork. I got to stay back, And I was like, hey, he lied, right? But, I'm telling the truth. So that was like the real strong incident that I'm like, but it's not helpful, right? And as I got older, I asked her, what did she prefer? And can you believe she actually prefers my brother's lie? Then it didn't hurt her feelings. And instead of, I hurt her feelings. So I've been torn on this lie truth, like what is the way to go? What is right? Because we all get stuck, right?
Right.
And clearly that would have been like, most people would be like, yeah, I'd rather you tell me the truth. But it really depends on, the delivery and the receiver back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. And so full circle, my 17-year-old has been lying a lot, as you know, right? And so I would really hold it against her. But then there's like parents programs where I say that's normal for teenagers to lie because that's for them to stretch their boundaries and grow, however they do it. And so I keep collapsing lies as a morality when lie is just a lie. And so I'm curious, like, when I'm opening this topic, where do we go with this? How deep can we go with the word lie, and how much do we lie to ourselves thinking we're telling the truth? And not that lie is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think
that you like the surprise.
Well, yes. And I'm just grateful that you're not putting me on the hot seat. One never knows with Mai. Everybody, I'm just letting you know. You just don't know. You just don't know. So thank you. Yes, the honesty we've talked a lot about in Queen Circle. Instead of calling somebody a liar, or lying, nicer but still accurate way to say it is being honest with oneself. And I think that this is a great topic because, as you're going into Vipassana, what I read about them is that they are just trained. This Vipassana is a training in radical honesty with sensations, with thoughts, with patterns, and observing reality as it is without aversion. Like you're saying, there's an aversion, or without craving, right? Lie to me, make me feel better, right? Which includes I think the core of what you're going after is self-deception. And so this self-deception, in, the Queen's Circle and in the conversations we've been having for years now, we don't betray ourselves with lies to others or internally. And Mai is fantastic about that. So, but being honest with oneself can be seen as self-abandonment. It can be seen as excuses, rationalizations, people-pleasing. And this is what you're saying. Who's this other person on the other end receiving this truth or this lie? Suppressed emotions or false narratives. And then, of course, it leads to the really big conversation. I love what you're saying. It's not just the person who's speaking, giving the honesty or the lie, but the receiver. Can both of them be vulnerable? Can both of them feel the sensations of shame and fear or relief, or like, whoo, she figured me out and she still loves me. That's how I feel with Mai all the time. Whoo, she got me and she still loves me, right? It's a great sensation, but it's a vulnerable sensation. It's a vulnerable position. And I think that in your Vipassana, this is a great topic because, considering, I think, where am I lying to myself? And then what keeps me small or stuck in this lie, right? Why would you lie? Why wouldn't you just be honest? You know what I mean? I think it's a great conversation. And then, but then if we're really being true to ourselves, and let's just say I'm lying, how does that make my body and my energy feel? How does that feel, right? And it's not even about morality. Did that jive? Did that make me feel, and then how would, if I was being really honest with myself, how would that, am I willing to claim it? Am I willing to step into it and go, well, hey, Mom, I get that you might like the lie, but I would really like to have a relationship with you where we can be completely honest and still love each other and be compassionate with each other and trust each other. Is that something we can work on? I don't know. Mai surprised me. I'm just pulling this on out here. So, those are my thoughts about it, reclaiming. And I like what you're saying, as you know, I'm a Christian, so I do have a semblance of conversational morality in my speak. But when I say this, it's more about, can we reclaim our truth without judgment? And even though I get that still is in the realm morality, right? Or at least my realm. And so can we reclaim truth without judgment? I think might be the big question. I don't know. What do you think? That was a lot there.
I can't believe you could spill so much out in one breath. I think every scenario is different. But
No,
every
I'm just
scenario
admiring
will be
you like I
so
always
it's hard
do.
to. Thank you. What I want to really get to the root is, I don't think anything is a truth or a lie. It's just what we make up. It's what we make up and we believe, right? Because you could turn any truth to a lie, you can turn any lie to a truth. And so it's like asking yourself, why do you turn these things? Because, somebody could say you're pretty and you're like, no, I don't believe them, right? Mm-hmm. Like who's telling the truth, who's lying, right? That happened one time. Oh, that was so powerful. I'll do a powerful share where, I had mastectomy on my right breast, right, when I had breast cancer. And I was like, oh, they're mutilated now, right? Even though I appreciate the surgeon who did the work and everything, because it was looking funky. It's not my original. It's okay. But my husband's like, oh, they're beautiful, like they look great. And so I was like, no, they don't, right? But I know this work. And I caught myself and I said, wait a minute. Why am I trying to convince him that it looks funky when he actually sees that it looks good? Why do I need to lie to him on his truth, right? Mm-hmm. And so, like, it's all that's true or false, and run with it, but not really ever catching it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Somebody has this truth, you're beautiful, and then our truth is, no, I'm not beautiful. So there's a contradiction in truth. So I think what your thesis is that truth is a meaning-making machine. Landmark Forum 101 people. So we are meaning-making machines since the beginning of time, right? I mean, I think in the beginning they thought the sun, and they did a whole bunch of things, right? Fire came along, woo, the next god, right? So, how do we, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how. The only thing I can go back to for that dialogue would be to say, I don't have an answer, because or maybe those are just preferences and we're calling it truth. Maybe there's a distinction between truth and preferences, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? We do know that phrase. So that doesn't mean it's true. It just means for that person it's true. So I think that there's probably different levels of truth. There would be the preference. I have a preference. And then there would be something in the realm of how to run a civil society. What's true for the majority of humans. I think that's sticking to thou shalt not kill is a good one. I mean, or thou shalt not murder, actually, is the actual context. That just doesn't make the world a very civilized society, right? So is that true, that it's not good to murder? I guess that would be true if you want to have a civilized society. So I wonder if truth is not attached to the end goal, right? So you have preference, and then you have truth. And this goes back to your example with your mother. She preferred the lie. So her goal was to feel good, to have it her way or something like that. Mm-hmm. Whereas you're like, I'm just telling the truth, right? But the game that was being played, like as in a civil society, was your mom wanted to feel good in that family unit. Does that make sense? What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's why it's always a moment to moment. Depending on every scenario. That's why I'm throwing enough examples to kind of get an understanding of it. But, just so much variable comes into, determining what is what. And there is no, that whole point is there is no right or wrong answer. Mm-hmm. It's not a truth and it's not a lie. It's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And we add truth or lie also as a meaning.
So I would counter that statement. Say that again. I believe you said that it's just what's so. Is that what? So I would almost then, just for conversation here and for a very intellectually stimulating conversation here, isn't it true, quote unquote, that isn't it so, quote unquote, that let's say there's a crime committed in a bank. And they interview all 30 people. Well, there's 50% that swears that guy had a blue shirt on, and then there's 25% that swear he had on a red shirt, and then there's 10% that swear that he had a yellow shirt, And I'm sure I didn't do my math there properly, people, no comments. But anyways, so but the point is, what they saw was true to them. It was true to them, so much so that they would witness and testify that it was blue or red or yellow. So then how do you know it's so? How do you know it's so? Unless you have video footage and you go, well, these two groups are wrong, or maybe all three groups, maybe he had on a green shirt, because what so was he had a green shirt. That makes it even more complicated, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what's slow? Yeah. So, you know, the grass is green. And somebody might go, no, I think it's yellow green. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm not even sure that what's so can hold the truth. And I still think it goes back to what is the goal, the intent of the situation. You know, and I still go back to how does it make us feel? Like, I think that, I hope most humans, there are exceptions, normally in the realm of serial killing or something like that, but there are exceptions where we have these sensations in our body. So that would be another layer. Where do those sensations come from if there's no truth? You see what I'm saying? Like, why do we feel uncomfortable? Why do we feel like tightness in our chest? Or why do we have tears if we get caught? You know what I mean? Like something like that. What is it about the physical body that agrees with the mental body and the words that would make us think that would make us believe that we were lying? Does that make sense? Where does that come in?
So obviously emotions are also an interpretation, and it's really whatever we're feeling sad, it's not a permanent sad, and the sadness can come around to something else. So I think the emotion is basically for our experience, whatever it may be, but like whatever actions you do after that shouldn't be so much based on emotions, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you're sad, but you don't have to take that sadness like into severe pain or something.
So I agree with that 100%. But what I'm asking is, is the body itself aware of something not true or not so, and it responds almost as if it's its own separate signaler to go, hey, I mean, it happens to kids all the time. You can see them. They're like, yeah, no, I didn't eat the cookie. You know, and you're like, well, clearly I mean, dogs even do it. Have you seen those funny videos? Oh my God, that's so hysterical. They go, did you tear up that trash? And the dog's like, that's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a good, is that separate? Is that distinct? Is that a training? Is that a program? What are you thinking?
Scenario by scenario. And it's hard to say because, you know, something will come out of it one way or the other. You know, call it consequence, kind of something, but something will come out of it. So it's a life lesson regardless what it is. So I can't go there to say, you know, it's good. The whole point of me bringing this up is that I don't want people to think like me, it's bad to lie and it's good to tell the truth. Like that could get you in a trap. That's the main reason I'm bringing it up, because
so
it's
what would
neither
the trap be?
That when you say it's the truth, because we will never know what the full truth is, because it could be bad at that very moment that you lied, but you know, down the road it might saved you somehow, you know, like I learned raising my kids early and when they're young to not have lie as a morality. And how I did that, because I wouldn't say don't lie, because I remember, you know, we all as kids growing up, you know, tell the truth, right? And I just didn't want to put that planting in my kids, because I thought well, if they ever get in a bad case scenario with stranger danger stuff, right? And they don't have the ability to lie and they tell the truth, then it will be in a worse scenario, you know? So like, I'm not going to make lying bad, you know, and telling the truth is important, because those are the times you do not do that, right? And so yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this topic up and to have it, lies and truth, be loosened up, just even for myself, you know.
No, I think that, and that's an excellent, that is, I think every mother has thought that, every dad has thought that, you know, how do you teach your child that, you know, there are circumstances that it's okay to lie, you know. Hey, little girl, what's your phone number? I don't know. I mean, you know, I mean, clearly there, but doesn't that go back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's, what are you trying to accomplish? So at that moment, a child or any, you know, an adult that was even in that awkward situation, a horrible situation, the intention is to be safe.
Exactly.
And so I do want to dive into this, because I want to, your contrast on this, you know, a really sacred part of the Christian beliefs is that in the beginning was the Word, and that word is, and it's capitalized in Scripture, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then we have the creation, right? For those of us who believe in creation, and out of his mouth, out of word. So once again, now that I'm talking out loud, isn't that intention? So the creator intended to create and made words. There was light, there was dark, there was animals, there was humans. So, and so when we have that, you know, I think that the distinction, and there must be a different way to teach this, because we want our children safe, and we also want them to create. You know, there's all this in between, you know, in our words. So I really think that, wow, that's challenging, right? And I think that's why we have phrases, analyze your audience, right? That might, you know, that's around. Who are you speaking to? What is your audience? What is the intention? So if my intention is to raise children that are a contributing member to society, of a civil society, because we can have an anarchy society, we can have a chaotic society. I mean, there's many examples in the world today, regrettably. And so I would think overall, being truthful, being honest with our words would be more contributory to a nicer place. People don't leave feeling manipulated. They don't leave feeling used. They don't leave feeling squirmish, like, oh, you know, played would be a word, right? So, and then on the flip side, I don't know, there's something, I'm missing something. What am I missing, Mai? What am I missing?
I don't know what you're missing, but I know many times I've been quite naive to trust in people, right? And sure enough, you know, they backstab me, or, you know, they, whatever business going on, right? And many builders. Anyways, and so, you know, at that time, it seemed like it was a horrible experience. But then I've got a dear best friend out of it. So I will never know, you know, like, so now we thank this builder, like, that connected us. So many times around, when we get so trapped, like I said, in this fixated belief that this is the truth and this is a lie, and we carry on that heavy weight, you know, and make situations wrong, or something wrong, or us wrong, whatever that case, it just spirals us to be so righteous about what we think to be true, when who knows, right? And that is really what it is, to put the trust, and that's really will tie in that the word trust, because it took a long time for me to finally wrap myself around this word trust, because we are always humans wanting to be safe, right? And then I realized there's that emotional safety, right? But how do you conquer it a lot is when you trust in yourself to know that you've done your best is one. Right? Love the 4 Agreement books. I'm just promoting that one. And like once you realize you've done your best, and that's how I got full self-acceptance, you know, is because like that's not like that's me, that's it, you know, like I'll keep improving and learning and growing, but like that's what came out of me, that's what I have. I'm not going to squeeze something that I'm not. You can't squeeze orange juice out of an apple, you know, like just you just can't. So I always have that good faith of forgiveness to myself, you know. But at least I trust that whatever I did is what I did, and you know, and I trust that I know myself enough to speak a little bit more about my boundaries at this point, you know. And if someone around me lies or tells me the truth, in the end I'm the one that's ultimately responsible to interpret how I want to receive it. You know, and that's really come full circle. It is not a lie, it's not the truth, it's what I make it mean. And I'm the things that I'm making mean. And if my daughter does lie to me, so what at this point, you know, like, or I'll point it out, or I'll punish her. Whatever the case is, I'm going to take these scenarios and take it accordingly. But before, I was so livid and I wanted to like point it out forever and smear that you're lied, you know, and that was like half the battle. So without Vipassana, I've already come that far. I don't know what after Vipassana will be, but yeah, like that was a huge hurdle to like let go of her, making her so evil for lying to me. You know,
right? Of course, and you said a lot there, and I think that overall we do need to exhibit discernment, even your reaction, discernment. Do I tell my life story to this person? Is that person trustable? You know, there is moments of discernment. And I think one of the things about Vipassana that is the same as the Queen's Garden is that, you know, most emotional pain, and you remind us of this all the time, is it comes from resistance to what is and how we're interpreting this, right? I mean, like, or how we're seeing this. And so once we just kind of look at it and own our own reality, which really uncovers really our self-betrayal, like you were just, you know, vulnerably sharing about with your daughter, your reaction to your daughter was probably as big of a problem as her not lying, because it's hard to trust somebody that lies. It just is that's what's so, right? Is she saying yes or is she saying no?
Yeah.
Is she saying no or is she saying yes? I mean, at the end of the day, right? And I think that the how, you know, once again, what is the intention? I think your intention is to have compassion and understanding, and to stand for her, that no matter what she's saying, there's a place for her to say it, right? Right? Wow. Wow. Because what will happen? This is Doc Harmony's prediction. She will come to trust you and know that this is a place for her to do that, right? And when it really counts, because, you know, they all think they're so grown at 17, 18. Oh my God. When it really counts, when life is really hurling at them, I guarantee you she'll be like, I'm going to go talk to Mom, because I know Mom her yes is yes and her no is no, and it will be clear and there'll be no confusion. So, and I think that's where freedom and authenticity lies, and you can call it truth or what so, but when we align with reality, intuition, and have that genuine, compassionate connection, once again, now we have a better family, we have a better civil society, we have a better neighborhood, we have a better Queen's Garden, etc. So I think that's, I can't wait to see after Vipassana. Yes.
Oh, as much love as you put out for me, I'm just like waiting to pour it out back to you. Yep. I got that snort out of you.
She does it every time. Every time. Shh, don't tell anybody. So yeah, so what in regards to these deep circles of work, that you're purifying your mind and just like you said, the cravings, the aversions, the ignorance, the ignoring, the making a false reality, pretend, whatever, right? Whatever. I think Vipassana really is going to emphasize you can't purify what you're hiding from. And honesty, I think, is different from lying. Honesty is the entry point. I think that's
I have to. I mean, I don't know if people will get this, but out of doing so much work, I concluded there's a lot of BSs out there. Okay, and they mean a lot of things.
Yep.
One, it could mean bullshit, of course. Oh wait, can I? Yeah. Oh well, too late. And secondly, belief system and blind spots. So there's a lot to say about BS, and I think there's even a book on the art of BSing, right? Right. And so I love that because that can also be a beautiful thing to be able to BS. BS would be a flirtatious thing, right? Or fun thing, bring out the fun. And so there's just so much in this truth or lie to dance in and not make it so heavy and significant, right? And just be with whatever it is and, be responsible that whatever you're bringing it back in, that you could trust yourself to just let that loosen up.
Right. Absolutely. I love this. I love the BS, and I think really it's where are we coming from in our words, what we're creating. Is it a belief system, a blind spot, or is it bullshit, right? Which one is it? And I think that, while we all love a good story, right? We all love some good charm, right? At the end of the day, I think a belief system is more powerful, and a blind spot certainly is something that we have to overcome. So I think that that's really a poignant way to end. Where are you at? Where are you at in life? What are you going after? Is your words going to be your word? Is your yes and yes going to be yes or no? And learning that no is okay too, right? How many times have we seen that, Mai? And I think that they're not honest. They're untruth because they're afraid to and they do the opposite. They lie because they're afraid to disappoint someone, or and that takes us right back to the beginning of the conversation. So, yeah. And I think that we both have learned. Where the question, and we should post this in the comments, where am I running my meaning-making machine right now? And what raw truth, sensation, fact, or feeling am I avoiding? Oh, we didn't even talk about that really, did we? Sometimes it's just to avoid, isn't it? To not deal with.
Well, that's not being responsible.
Right? And we would never even think of that because that's so not our personality now, is it?
We're like, where do I take action? Where do I go to clean this up? And we're not clean, but the only way to clean ourselves, the situation, is by clean ourselves. And when I say clean, it's not that you're dirty. It's just thoughts that come in, the lies.
Yep. Oh, we lost you. Your picture, your beautiful face. There you are. So, and then I think that Vipassana is going to be all about what would happen if you observe it, the thoughts, without the story. That's what I heard is the real. It's kind of like playing poker, naked poker. What's that called? Strip poker. Well, you're just naked. Oh my God, they're just naked. But you're naked to yourself. Wow, Oh, you're on mute.
I've been very comfortable internally new to myself. You know, like I'm very open. So those challenges not going to hold me in any form or shape. Like I'm acceptance of my body, I'm acceptance of so many stuff. So that's not going to be the hinder. I think what's going to be the hinder is like, I guess the stillness, you know, because you're so antsy and to do something and keep going and like what's next, and like, you know, like to like give yourself this gift, and I'm gonna turn 50 soon, so therefore it's I figure there's no better gift than giving myself this peace inside of me.
Well, I think the prayer will be, God, show me, God, show my Mai.
My. Yeah.
Well, all right, my friend, I think this has been a great conversation. I cannot wait to post it. Everybody, reach out to Mai, give her some love, give her some support, blessings, thoughts, and any questions about Vipassana. This is the woman to ask, because she will be brutally honest.
Not yet.
But that's her. But that's her creation, right? So there we go, back full circle. Mm-hmm. Any last words for you, Mai, on this topic?
No, I appreciate you dancing with me as always, tangling in these deep thoughts and just getting to the essence of what it means to be feminine and masculine, and, you know, be able to just grow together. And
we'll talk about that topic next time. We have a differing. That'd be great. We should, because we have a very differing opinion on that, and I think it would be great for people to be able to see that, and we still love each other. And I think that's the most important part, right? That's what's so beautiful about our relationship. So everybody join us again. We will be talking to Mai on May 10th after her Vipassana.
Raw coming out. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't imagine that.
Will she be able to speak? What words will she say? What will she be creating? What will she be up to? I don't know. We shall find out. But the one person that I know who's just going to the topic's fantastic. Truth, honesty, lies, untruths, reality, and really goes to what is your intention and what are you intending? And what are you creating with your words? So with that.
And true to you.
Say it again.
Always to be true to you.
Always to be true to you. That's what Mai said. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Always to be true to you all the time, but just be true to you. You know?
Amen. So, and with that, I'm Doc Harmony, and this is the Queen's Circle, soon to be the Queen's Garden. Here's my favorite queen of them all, Mai Saavedra. Ciao. Have a great day.
Okay.